All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome, everyone, to the Full Count, the best baseball show on the ASAP network, if not anywhere else. I am joined by Brandon, the Mighty Left Herrera. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing okay. Minnesota, it smells like spring out there already, 65 today, so let's bring on some baseball.
All right, then. It's not the King Felix, but we call him the King King Felix still. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing great. Then we got UL, the big dog, not of the WWE, but of the Diamond. UL Heyman, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. I got my new Mets hat. I know it's a black and white hat, but still, I got my new hat ready for baseball season. Let's bring it on.
It's like you're trying to almost get look like a Yankee fan there with that hat.
That's what I was kind of going to say too.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I love my team, but I just hate the blue and orange colors. So when I saw this out, I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. This will match with everything I wear. So as John Witherspoon said, you got to coordinate. So.
All right. So I just want to.
You remember that, Brandon, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to point out to our viewers, if you guys have not seen it, the last show that was before this show, Russell Shoot, watch it. It was great. Rob Wiles and Chris Casanova, they are great guys. It is awesome. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it to watch it. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, it was pretty good. So, but we got to take some care of business really quick. So if you like, comment, and interact with the show, you have a chance to win a free t-shirt. Did I say free? Yes, I did. So just interact with the show, comment, and just comment, be interactive. Hey, you got a chance to win a free t-shirt at the end of the month. And you're like, hey, Sarge, I don't feel like commenting. That's fine. But guess what? You can buy that t-shirt for $14.99. How much again, Brandon?
$14.99 plus shipping and handling. Small to 2X, and if you're a little bit bigger guy like myself, a few more dollars to get you that shirt.
All right. So we just took some the ground crew kind of took that. Thank you, Nate, for doing that. So let's start off the show. So last week we went with the AL West, and I had to go with UL going for the go for the Angels, making some noise there, and I made a hot take saying that the Mariners will make the playoffs. So with that being said, we're going to go into the AL Central. I'm going to start with Felix on this one. Have the White Sox really turned the corner, or are they going to be pretenders?
I think they did. The Indians losing Lindor, Tigers being where they're at, the Royals being where they're at, and the Twins being where they're at. I think it's their division to lose, to be honest with you.
Ooh, that is good. I'm gonna have to agree with that one. I mean, you got Tim Anderson there, Jose Abreu's there, Dallas Keuchel's there. I mean, I honestly don't think the Twins can do anything this year. UL, what's your take with the Central?
The Central is going to come down to Minnesota and Chicago. Cleveland with too many losses. I mean, that trade was huge for the Mets, but it was huge losses for Cleveland. So I can't see Cleveland doing anything. Detroit's rebuilding. Kansas City's rebuilding. Although Kansas City getting Benintendi from Boston, is a nice little pickup. So they're going to build around him, but they just don't have the pitching to hold up. It's a Minnesota Chicago White Sox battle for the division, no doubt. Minnesota has, they've got a very potent lineup though, with Donaldson at third. They've got Polanco at second, Sano playing first. And what's his name? DHing. I'm drawing a blank. Cruz, yeah. So Nelson Cruz DHing. Thank you. They've got a great pitching staff on paper. With Maeda, Berrios, Happ, and Pineda. Pineda couldn't stay healthy. They got Shoemaker as a good 5. Their bullpen is definitely a little suspect. I know they've got Hansel Robles in their bullpen, and he's been kind of up and down. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the Minnesota, bullpen. As we all know, when it comes down to playoff games, the bullpen is everything. On the White Sox front, picking up Hendricks as their closer, an amazing deal that they made in the offseason. If Dallas Keuchel can pitch like he pitched in Houston, they've got a good ace. Giolito, is another ace. Lance Lynn is hot and cold, but Lynn can be very good. And they've got Adam Eaton on this lineup. They've got Tim Anderson, who's a phenomenal shortstop, both at the plate and at the bat. Abreu is great. Grandal can hit the ball, but they've got 2 catchers, Grandal and Lucroy. So to have 2 catchers like that on the roster, I mean, you can't beat that and be able to switch those guys out, because usually when you go to your second catcher, you have a weaker player. So a prediction, I'm sorry, Brandon, I got to go with the White Sox. I hate to do this to you, bro, but I got to go with the White Sox.
All righty. So Brandon, you're up north there, South Canada, I like to call it.
So, South Canada, nice.
Yes. So the Twins lost or Dorsey. I'm hoping I'm saying his name correctly.
Dorsey?
Yes. He signed a 2-year deal with the Astros. What do you think the Twins need to do to even compete with the White Sox? Because I think the White Sox are wide open.
I can see what you guys are saying, and I can't disagree with you. You all said it the best, though. It's going to be the bullpen for the Twins. I mean, they do got a steady, on paper, starting 5. Right now, the Twins' question mark on the batting side is going to be who's in left. So, with that being said, yeah, I honestly really can't disagree with what you guys are saying about the White Sox division to lose, but I think the Twins are going to be right there with them. The Royals might do some shocking things. I saw what's his name, Bobby Witt Jr. just hit that mammoth of a home run the other night. So they got a young team. Tigers rebuilding. Yeah, Lindor trade for Cleveland, that hurt. So yeah, it's going to be a battle between the Sox and the Twins. Twins will probably – I hope the Twins squeak it out by a game or 2, but again, I could see – I could see a game 163 too out of this division. So I think the White Sox and Twins will both make the playoffs. So.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to say that the White Sox are going to win the division. It's a given. Just give it to them right now. Don't even bother playing the games. But also, I think the Kansas City Royals could steal a wild card. Do you think they can, Felix?
I don't think so. I mean, everyone, you think about all the other divisions and all the other good teams, I think the Royals are a step back from them all, especially if you think the Mariners are going to make it.
I was given that one. So, yeah. I got to say, because the Royals have Carlos Santana, they have Hunter Dozier, Mondesi, Benintendi now. I think they're kind of creeping up there, and they got Mike Minor, who's always been a good pitcher in my opinion. I thought he was a good pitcher with the Texas. So, do you think Kansas City Royals can sneak a wild card spot?
No, they can't. I mean, they definitely have a potent lineup. Santana, Merrifield, Perez, Dyson, and Benintendi with Mondesi. Definitely even Jose Soler. Dozier, a good lineup, but their pitching's not going to hold up. I mean, Minor's one guy. and Greg Holland. You can't survive on 2 pitchers, you know, especially in this division with the rotation that the White Sox and Minnesota have. I can't see Kansas City sneaking in, and the other good teams. I mean, there's 2 or 3 good teams in the AL East. You know, the West, you know, is going to be Houston making that trade is a huge pickup for them, for their staff. You know, and Oakland's going to be decent. You know, the Angels are going to be decent. So there's not room for them. I mean, if they go to 8 teams, then maybe they might sneak in as an 8th seed. But if they're going to go to the traditional 4, you know, with 5, you know, with 2 wild card and 3 division winners, no, there's no room for them. Definitely not.
So you're saying Kansas City has a chance to be with my Mariners? I got it. I got you.
Yeah. if it comes down to 8 teams, you and Seattle and Kansas City might fight for that last. You never know. You never know.
Yeah. All right, Brandon, I'm going to come to you. Do you think that Kansas City can sneak at least a playoff spot this year?
Yeah, if they go 8 teams, I don't see them. If it's the traditional way, the Royals are probably sitting out looking in. So, I mean, it's the White Sox, Twins. You know, the East will probably have a couple. The West, who knows? So, yeah, if they go 8, yeah, the Royals probably can sneak in there as the 8th seed, like you all said. But yeah, no, I'm probably a couple of years out before I would put them in the playoffs.
All right. Well, also the White Sox are also getting Michael Kopech back from Tommy John surgery from 2019, and he's already pitching in the upper 90s. So I think that's going to be a big help for the White Sox right there. And also, Tony La Russa saying that this White Sox team is reminding him of the '89 team that he managed. So I think the White Sox are going to be a force to reckon with, and I think we're going to talk more about this next week. So I have to make a correction. It was 1983 with Carlton Fisk, Harold Baines, when they won 99 games with that one, and also mention about some of the old A's teams as well. So we're going to continue with the AL Central right here, but we're going to continue with a team with one certain player that was brought to our attention from our great Brendan Herrera on this one. It is Miguel Cabrera. So he is only, I'm going to ask this, Yoel, how many home runs is Miguel Cabrera away from hitting 500?
You know, I'm ashamed. Okay, hold on. I'm looking right now. He's at 487. 487. Okay. So he's got 13 to go. He's playing in Detroit. Chances are he'll probably DH more than he will play the field at this point in his career. He'll definitely get to 500. I could definitely see that happening. When? Let's see, 13 home runs. If he hits, he could have it by the All-Star break. I'd say by the All-Star break, he could have 13. You know, if he stays healthy and he gets off to a decent start. If he gets off to a slow start, no. But if he gets off to a good start, yeah, I could see him because he hit 10 home runs last year, and that was on a 60 game schedule. So if you do the math and you do the percentages, when he gets to the middle of the season, that's like at least 80 games in. Yeah, he could hit 13 by then. So I'd say the All-Star break.
All right. Can you at least give me a day? I want to know.
You want a day?
I want a day.
Okay.
Make sure they're playing.
Yeah, let's see. The All-Star game is probably what? July 13th? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with July 8th. Write it down.
Okay. I'm writing it down as we speak.
Mark the tape. Write it down. July 8th.
All
right. I'm going to go with you, Brendan Herrera, with this one. Do you think he'll make it?
Oh, yeah, he'll make it. Last few years, he's averaged a home run every 10 games-ish. So that'll put him roughly around September. So I'm going September 1st.
Holy cow, you're going way out in the season.
Yeah, he's been averaging about 10 games for every 1 home run that he's hit the last few years. So I lost my math wrong. It could be. I'm getting old. So but he's also been on the injury, but playing DH, I mean, it might help him. But I'll stick with September 1st.
September 1st? All righty.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going with June 10th. The only reason I'm saying that is because they're playing against the Mariners. And I'm going for on June 10th when he's going to hit his 13th home run and get 500 with that one. So,
Ooh.
yep. So, Felix, what date do you got?
I'm looking at July 6th.
Okay.
Tuesday, July 6th against the Texas Rangers. It's far enough in, and knowing that they're playing the Rangers, second game of the Rangers, I'm pretty sure he might have 2 bombs that day. So,
It's kind of funny because with your pick, Felix, you kind of did the Price is Right type scenario where you went $1,000, you went $1.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he definitely $1 me, no doubt.
All right, Felix, I'm going to stay with you on this one. Do you think that if Miguel Cabrera calls it this season, do you think he makes it into the Hall of Fame?
I believe so. There's players with worse stats that got in. I mean, it's true. It's hard to deny a player with 500 home runs that's clean. The Hall of Fame. So I believe so. Might not be first ballot, but he'll get in by second chance, third chance.
All right. Brandon, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I think he gets 500. He should be in. I think he's only a couple hundred away from 3,000 hits too. So if he can eclipse both of those, the 300 hits might be tough. But I'm with Felix. He's in. Probably not first ballot, but he'll probably be in within 5.
Okay. All right, you will.
Yeah, I mean, right now he has a career batting average of .313. So if he hits the 500 this year and retires, chances are he's going to retire with an average over 300. A 300 hitter, 500 home runs, close to 3,000 hits. He's won 2 MVP awards, I think. Yeah, and he did win a Triple Crown. Yeah. I mean, to me, he's a Hall of Famer. You know, to me, he's a Hall of Famer. Is he the epitome of the Hall of Famer? No, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. So I think if he pulls the stats, he should definitely make it in. And I do agree, not on the first try, but you know, he'll get in probably within 5 years for sure. You know.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that Triple Crown, so that might really lock it up if he doesn't get 500.
Yeah, because not many players have hit a Triple Crown recently. So to have that on his resume, yeah.
Look where he's playing too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's playing in Detroit, you know, so he's going to go up. You know, he's going to go, with Cleveland. So he's got 2 division rivals right there, and you know, we've already talked about the other weaker teams in the AL. So yeah, he definitely he's got a shot. He really does.
He sure does.
Yeah, I would have to agree with all of you guys. Like, pretty much, if you hit 500 home runs, it's pretty much a lock. It's just a matter of time that he gets in. I want to say it might be. I want to say his 3rd chance that he's going to get in. I also like his interaction on the field with the fans as well. I think it's great. He likes to play tricks on them, which is awesome, and he's very interactive with that. So that's going to bring us to our next topic. Oh, we got a comment from John Suggs already. What about the Royals' top prospects? 484-foot home run.
That was Bobby Witt Jr. Sunday or Monday, I believe it was. It was just a gigantic shot. I mean, he's taking off after his dad. His dad was a big home run hitter too. So, but yeah, I don't know why the fans didn't even move when they saw the ball hit. So they knew it was gone. So
that's awesome. All right, John, welcome to the show. Thank you for commenting on that one. So on to the next topic. Since we're talking about Hall of Famers, so Albert Pujols, it's been said that this is his last year. So we can all pretty much agree that he'll be a Hall of Famer. Can we all agree on that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's at 662 home runs right now. Felix, where do you think he's going to end up at?
He's definitely going to hit around 18, maybe 20 home runs this year if he's lucky. But because he's going to take games off, he's older. I like the story about how he lied to the Angels about his age to get that contract. That was pretty amusing to me. But yeah, I don't. He won't hit 7. He won't get to 700, but he'll be around 680, something like that.
All right. I would have to agree with that one because since he's been with the Angels, he's been pretty much hitting around 20 home runs, even though last year he hit about 6 home runs. So I think he's going to be in the 680s. He's not going to be in the 700s. I think Mike Trout will be probably the next person in the 700s. Yoel, where do you see Albert Pujols ending his home run at?
Okay, well, Pujols is 41. And, Mr. Tom Brady has proven that you can play, over 40 in professional sports, and football is definitely more grueling than baseball. I mean, I could see him hitting definitely at least another 20, probably finishing at 682, maybe even 685. That's if he stays healthy. That's if he gets his at-bats in. He's going to DH more than he's going to play first. That's for sure. But he's a first ballot now. I mean, he's got 3 MVPs. He was Rookie of the Year, 2 Gold Gloves, 6 Silver Sluggers. He's got a batting title. He was an NLCS MVP. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No matter, even if he retired now, he's first ballot. But yeah, if he'll get at least another 20, I'll definitely agree with what Felix said. So probably 682, 685 at the most. I mean, if he hits 40 and gets to 700, something's up. Something's up if you ask me. So yeah, I say 20 to 23 more. 685 he'll top out at if that.
Yeah, because we have Jared Walsh is slated to be the number 1 at first base, but also he has to fight with Ohtani for the DH spot. So I think he can make it. I think it's going to be towards – I'm going to go with a Brandon answer till September, like towards the end of the season. It's going to happen with that one. So, Brandon, where do you see that where Albert Pujols is going to end his home run?
It's tough. I mean, you guys kind of nailed it. I mean, he is 41. I mean, he's pretty much going to be the DH most of the time. I actually think he's going to have a power surge. Seems like he always does. He'll come in and he'll have a string where nothing gets by him and he's launching them. I know it was younger years, but I can still see him doing that. I got him falling short by 10. I think he's going to go 690. Ooh. Which might intrigue him to come back for that extra 10. I don't know.
Well, I can see that.
But I could see 685 to 690.
Well, I gotta say that because to be honest, there's a player with the Twins that gives me hope that will happen because he was stolen away from Seattle.
And it's not Mauer.
Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz is 40, and he's been hitting like 40 home runs almost every season. So I'm gonna have to keep going. Brandon has a solid point with that, and we got another comment in from John saying Pujols is expected to split time with Jarrett Walsh at first base and Ohtani as designated hitter for the Angels. Dude even hit 6 times last in the 39 games. He hasn't hit 30 or more home runs in a season since 2016. But he has hit roughly about 20 home runs with the Angels. If he averaged all the home runs with the Angels, he has hit roughly about 20 home runs each. So
I don't see him playing much at first, though. I really don't.
No, he's going to DH most of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because his doubles are barely a single. Yeah. I saw it live, and it was like really watching a slow-mo motion. While I was watching.
I mean, unless he gets hot, he'll probably come off the bench in the National League games because they're not using the DH. So unless he gets hot somewhere around that time, they're not going to use him at first that much.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that one. All right, so this is probably one of my favorite things. I love retro logos. I like it with NFL, NBA, NHL, and everything else. So I just want to know what your guys' favorite retro logo that you guys like the best. I'm going to start with Brandon on this one.
I actually thought it was jerseys, so I was throwing off a little bit here, but
that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, if we go jerseys, I like the baby blues for the Twins, but retro logo, I like the Cubs. I've always liked the little C with the Cub around there, so I'll have to go with the Cubs.
So bland.
Yeah, it's old school.
It's old. All right, big dog, you're up.
Okay, my favorite throwback jersey, and I have two. One is the old Houston Astros jersey where they had the rainbow stripes on them. Remember those jerseys? Yep.
Okay.
And they didn't have a road or a home jersey. They just wore one jersey all the time.
Yep.
So yeah, I remember them, especially in 1986 when they played in the NLCS against the Mets. Those I always kind of like those jerseys. I mean, Nolan Ryan would come out in this rainbow jersey and just mow players down. It was crazy. So that was one of my favorites. The other one, do you remember the White Sox jerseys in the 80s that had it was like red, white, and blue, and it said Sox across the front? Yeah. Those were nuts. And the White Sox also had another one. It was I think it was late 70s, early 80s, where it was like they had the really short pants and that was like the blue and whites. It was the blue and white pinstripes with the really short pants and really bag. It was like this crazy old throwback jersey, but it was like, I mean, it looked ridiculous if you ask me, So those are kind of my two favorite ones, those two throwback jerseys, and their logos, were also throwback as well. So kind of like those two.
All right, so Felix, you're up, man. What was your favorite logo that you like in the retro?
So it's funny because I'm seeing the old Marlins uniform, and I remember talking to my friends. I'm like, who'd we lose to today? And then the effing Marlins with the F on the front. So it was like, oh. So, but to be honest with you, I always liked the Indians' old logo, even though it's portrayed a certain way now. I don't know why, but I just always maybe it's from what's that movie with Charlie Sheen? Major League. Yeah. So that's probably why, but yeah.
Well, Felix, the old blue Philly uniforms from the 80s, with the big P, those were kind of cool too, I mean, Mike Schmidt made that look good.
Yeah. But they're bringing it back. So I mean, they're wearing it like every 2 weeks now. So yeah. I can't even really. They're trying to put that into like everyday baseball now, which is like do it for Jackie Robinson or whatever, but don't do it like every 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Well, it'd be a cool Sunday or something.
Yeah, some teams do it on Sunday, but like a lot of teams are doing it because they want to sell jerseys, they want to sell gear. So if they show more gear, the kids will buy more gear.
Well, I hear you. I just trust me. I don't think they have an issue selling gear. No. All you need to do is get the player,
right?
And they'll sell as much gear as they need. So, but don't get me wrong, I like them, the powder blue jerseys and stuff. But but I like the Indians retro.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and speaking of Florida, that's when Stanton was actually named Mike. I like that name. I like that name a lot better.
Yes.
All right, Brandon, did we get to you?
Yep, I said the Twins powder blue, and I got made fun of my Cubs logo because it was boring.
All right, yeah, my logo I liked was actually the Montreal Expos because there's like hidden message or hidden like pictures in it because you got the M, but also has the letters JB in it in the logo, which I never understood what the JB stood for. Do you guys know?
No.
I guess it would have been the owner. That's all I could think of.
I just realized that's a J.
Yeah, I just did too.
Yeah, that I even tried to Google it. I can't even find it with that. And also There's two others I actually like. It's the White Sox. I have to agree with John Suggs. It's like when it has like a blue player on it and the ball's red and he's about to hit it, and it's like all across their chest. It's back in the 80s and so forth. They're bringing it back also. And also with the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Randy Johnsons, the best. I like the jersey. I'm a fan of the jersey. I mean,
when Arizona went to the red, I was like, oh no, I love them with the purple and green. That was so much better.
That was actually kind of different when they came in with the purple and the green, different mix-up. So that stood out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Sarge, your answer about the Expos, it says at first glance, this logo looks like an M in the colors of the French flag. A lowercase e and b are tucked into the M. Officially, the letters stand for Montreal Expos Baseball.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Okay, I see the E and the J now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Got to see it, yeah.
Then we got Nate. He likes the Tampa Bay's logo on the top now, but I actually was a fan when they're actually called the Devil Rays.
Yeah.
Fred McGriff.
They were actually
Friend dog.
Yeah.
Fred McGriff.
And John Suggs made a really good point about the Expos. The ELB is Expos League Baseball.
Right.
That's awesome. Learn something new every day.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I actually kind of missed the Expos. That was actually a pretty good stadium at the time. Good team they had.
They killed the Phillies. Every time.
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah. All I know is I think baseball is going to get back there. I really think, and I really think Tampa is going to be the one moving. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think Tampa's moving back up there. Yeah, they have no support here. They have no support in Florida. Montreal is going to offer them a boatload of money, and they're going to move back up there. Watch.
Do you know what Tampa Bay Stadium is being used for right now?
WWE wrestling.
Thunderdome. That's right. WWE taking over, like Between the Ropes has taken over.
Well, we'll have to change that, but okay.
And also with the logos, I also want to point out I enjoyed the Oreos logos when Cal Ripken Jr. was there.
Oh yeah,
he was like a little cartoon character, and I was like a little kid, and that would really resonate with me with that. So that's something I liked, and also the Padres. The guy in the toga hitting the baseball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The old Padres uniforms when Ozzie Smith and Dave Winfield played for them. Yeah.
Tony Gwynn.
And Gwynn too. Yeah.
Right there. All right, so we're gonna go to our next topic here.
Well, it's funny. None of us said our own teams.
I do have the Mariners pitchfork hat, but I can't find it. So, all right. So, to be honest, this is one of my favorite video games I have ever played in my entire life. You can probably buy it for $2 for like the 360 or PS3 or what. But what the game is you were actually the general manager of a baseball team, and you dealt with all the minor league teams and all the call-ups and everything else. And I was addicted. Even asked my wife. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm checking out my team. I'm the GM." So I was asked this question probably about a month ago. If I was a GM, what would I prefer, like hitting or pitching first? And I would honestly go with hitting first, because my aspect of it is I want to bring the fans into the stadium, because I think offensive. I'm going to kind of go like a little football realm on here. Offense buys the tickets. I mean, if you got an offense, people are going to pay for those tickets and so forth, unless you're in Seattle. But I would say you have to have good hitting and just a little okay of pitching, and that's how I would start with it and use my farm system really well to upgrade my pitching and so forth. So I want to start with Felix. If you were a GM, how would you start your team? Would you start with the hitting or pitching first?
So, being a fan of the Phillies and being here, enjoying the run with the four aces, I have to go with hitting. It's crushing when your team is that good and you lose 1-0 to the Cardinals, and when you lose to the Giants, who just got journeyman on the team and slug you out. So it was a crushing blow for me as a fan, but hitting all the way around. It's harder for a pitcher to try to, get 9 guys that could smash the ball out of the ballpark out. So I would definitely go with hitting.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with you on this one. Are you going to stick with hitting, or are you going to go the pitching route?
It's funny. It's always been a discussion back and forth. This hitting win championships, this pitching win championships, this offense win championships, this defense win championships. And when it comes down to it, the way the game is played now, as much as you need to score runs, the pitching is so in and out. There's certain situational pitching now with analytics now. The righty lefty. I mean, Tampa was living proof of that last season. How their pitching and moving those pitchers in and out carried them to the series. It didn't succeed in the series because the Dodgers, had better hitting. So now there's the argument: who gets pitching or hitting? I would lean towards the hitting just a little bit, not much, only because you can have, and Jacob deGrom is a perfect example of it. deGrom pitches his face off, and the Mets don't always give him the run support they need. Felix was talking about losing 1-0. I feel you, same thing. So to me, as much as I'd like to have 4 aces on my staff, you got to have the run support. So those aces, even if they get a 2 to 3-0 lead, it's better than 1-0 or losing 1-0. So I lean slightly towards, building up your lineup, building up, your run support, and getting some good bats in there to score runs for your pitchers.
All right, I see. And John Suggs is commenting and saying he's picking pitching because he's going to say the bats will come back look at the 90 Braves.
Yep, and they won how many World Series with that lineup?
Exactly. One.
But no, I mean, I get his point, and I get everybody's point. Sorry, I jumped in here, but
no, you're fine.
For me though, you got to find a balance between the two. You can't just go all hitting and then hope your pitch comes around. You can't go all pitch and hope your hitting comes around. So I mean, yeah, you would have to study it and look and see what's out there, but to start a team, I mean, you almost have to go 50-50, 45-55. I mean, you definitely need a strong ace, and you need that 1 or 2 hitters in today's game that, anytime they're up there, the pitchers are scared to throw to them because it's going to go deep. So, I'm with you all. I kind of would take pitching a little bit ahead of hitting, but yeah, I think you got to find the happy medium between the two.
You think the Nats would have won the World Series without their pitching?
That's interesting because they some of those games were very high scoring, and the Dodgers pitching failed them in one or two of those games. That Jensen was blew up in the extra innings, I think, if I remember correctly. Would they have won the World Series without their pitching? I don't know, because that year Scherzer and Strasburg were just throwing heat. So yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you got 2 guys that are throwing heat all year long, I mean, yeah, pitching could carry you. We know that the Nationals wouldn't have won it with Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
So the Phillies will win again once Bryce Harper leaves, right?
Probably.
Send them to New York. The Mets could use them.
Well, listen, they took Worth from us back in the day, so all we did was go back and took Harper from them. It's only fair.
Awesome. So speaking of pitching, I kind of want to stay on that. You guys probably read that this year that the MLB is changing the baseballs, correct?
Oh, really? Again?
Yeah, because it was like back in 2019, it was a record year of how many home runs. It was like over 6,700 home runs were hit in 2019. And so there was a report out by Blake Snell, who's now with the Padres, he's saying that the laces on the ball, they're thicker. He said that he can really put his have control of the ball when he's making a breaking ball. Felix, do you think that's going to change anything, like with changing the baseball?
It has to if they're talking about it, right? Otherwise, they'd just go like it's any other day. If a pitcher notices it, and he's going to get smashed, guess what he's going to blame it on?
The ball?
Yeah. I'm not used to this ball, so that's the way I see it. I mean,
yeah, and maybe we might see like pitchers not having substance underneath their hat. Excuse me, underneath their hat. Yoel, so what do you think of the changing the baseballs?
Well, as they said for years, they've been changing the baseball back and forth. They're tightening the strings, they're loosening the strings. They're changing the filling. But I think the bat speed is what is what's really causing this home run derby, if you want to call it a home run derby. Because guys are in better shape than ever. Training programs are different. Their diets are different. So I mean, these guys are quick up there with the bats. Yeah. So and pitchers are throwing harder. So if you combine the pitching velocity of 90, if you're catching up to a 99 mile per hour fastball, and you're swinging with that speed and velocity, it's going to carry no matter what. So they can loosen the ball and change the ball a little bit, but I mean, I don't think it's going to matter. I think the physicality of both hitters and pitchers nowadays, it's just home runs are going to be home runs. Might it drop a little bit? Yeah, it could drop, a little bit, but it's not going to be like, it's not going to go from 6,700 to 5,500. It might go down to maybe 6,500 if that, but I can't see much of a difference even if they change the ball. No.
Yeah, because I think it's like the New York Times or someone reported that they did not intentionally juice the balls.
Right, exactly.
So, Brandon, the mighty lefty, what do you think?
Like Felix says, the pitchers are noticing it. Yeah, it's going to make a difference. And sorry, you all said it too, that players are working out better, harder, getting their diets changed, so they're getting stronger. Pitchers are getting stronger, so of course everything's faster, bat speed, pitching. I mean, Suggs said it. They're trying to look out for the pitchers. I mean, 95 mile an hour fastball coming with the bat speed. That's what, 120 coming back at the pitcher if they're hit right at them. So, batters have what, a second to decide if they're going to swing. Pitchers have what, half a second to decide if they're going to move. If that ball comes right back at them. And we've seen some brutal pitches getting whacked. So I don't know. I don't think it'll make a big change in home runs. I mean, maybe a few here or there, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference.
All right. Well, John Suggs actually brought up a good point. Are they changing it because of the home runs or safety?
Yeah.
Because when I was reading the report from Blake Snell, he was saying that, yeah, he could have a better grip on the breaking balls, which I think could be devastating for the hitters. But he also mentioned that he didn't have to use much force as he usually does. So I think it's gonna. I gotta go. With that being said, I'm gonna have to go with the safety of the pitchers because they can actually control the ball better with less strain on that elbow. Because when you make a pitch, your elbow is not supposed to go that way. So, Yoel, what do you think? Is it because of home runs or safety?
I would say safety. There's been a couple incidences we've seen over the years that have caused, pitchers not be able to move out of the way in time, But you were talking about the pitching motion, the overhand pitching motion, as we've learned, is not a natural motion for the arm, So that's why you're getting all these injuries and all these Tommy Johns and this and that. Is changing the baseball going to change and not have as many Tommy Johns? No, I think because guys are throwing harder, there's more Tommy John surgery, more injury. I just don't. In general, I just don't see the change in the ball really changing the game much. They're reaching right here. And I can't see it. I mean, why do you want to cut down on home runs? You know, home runs bring people to the sets, bring people to the stands. You know, chicks dig the long ball. Remember that? You know, and yeah. I mean, I love a good pitching matchup, but I also love a good 9-7 game. So, you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't think. I mean, this changing, it's stupid if you ask me. It's really not going to make much of a difference.
It's what's ruining baseball.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of things ruining baseball, but that's one of them.
Sports in general too. So
yes, exactly.
All right, Brandon, did we get your take on that?
Kind of. I mean, I think if they're doing it, it's for safety. But I mean, if you're changing and you got better grips, I mean. Now is the time to be like a specialty pitcher, like a Tim Wakefield. Throw that knuckle, that Phil Niekro knuckle. I mean, if you can grip the ball for a knuckleball, that is one nasty pitch, So, I mean, yeah, if I was a pitcher and they're going to give me a better ball to grip, I'd probably be learning some new pitches right now.
All right.
Felix Suggs.
Yeah. Felix,
2033 wiffle ball.
I love it. Have you guys seen those wiffles? Balls? It's like crazy. It is crazy how they can move those balls. Felix, do you have anything to close out on this segment?
I mean, if it's with safety, to be honest with you, I mean, you're just I don't know how you can make a ball unless you're Tom Brady, less dense and all this other stuff. You're just taking integrity out of the game, and I can't stand with that. Whether you call it safety or whatever, I leave the game the way it is and try to enhance it rather than take away from it.
All right, because I know the biggest proponent of the juice balls was Justin Verlander.
Yeah,
I remember that. I think it was.
And meanwhile, he's hurt with Tommy John. So there you go.
Hey, man.
But a quick thing on safety. What do you guys think of the nets all around the foul grounds? What is your guys' first take on that?
I think what it is, it's a CYOA thing. Cover your own.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And baseball, they don't want to get a lawsuit, But if you look in the back of a ticket, it has all the provisions on the back of a baseball ticket that you're basically the team is clearing themselves from any responsibility, And there are people sitting there 2 rows from the field on their phone, drinking a beer, talking to this, talking. They're not paying attention. If you're going to sit that close, pay attention. You paid a lot of money to sit there. Pay attention to the game. So, yeah, I mean, the nets are there for safety, and I understand it, but it sucks because you can't get a ball, or you're talking. Usually, players will throw your ball when they're warming up, whatever. Those days are gone. It sucks. But I understand why they're doing it. But once again, taking the fun out of the game. No.
I wonder if the outfield seedings their prices will probably go up because they'll probably be, hey, I can get a ball this way better.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, when you go to the Marlins Stadium, you buy an outfield seat, and then you can sit wherever you want because no one goes. So, that's what we do. We pay like $5 to sit in the bleachers, and then we go down to 10th row. It's great.
Oh yeah.
I like it how they have an aquarium right behind the catcher.
Yes, exactly.
I love that feature. I just love it so much. What's your take on the nets?
Cool.
Who was that? Somebody was. Yeah.
It's Felix's turn. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember this story about when the little girl got hit with the baseball and she was in the hospital. I think she might have passed away, to be honest with you. So, if it's going to cost me a baseball, okay, I don't care. It's $10 baseball. You're gonna, have the kid back if you could, and that would have never happened. So, the outfield might go up. I doubt it, but yeah, I think they should put the nets up. And again, it's funny, we go from safety to safety, but at this point we're talking about safety with the fans. So yeah, I agree with the nets 100%.
All righty. So last week Brandon came up with a stat with these catchers and so forth, and he wanted his own little segment. I was like, be careful what you wish for. So I did a little segment just for Brandon, and it's Nate. Can we get the next slide, please?
You asked for it, Brandon.
I did. I mean, but no, hey, I'm willing to. I'll take that to get a segment. So,
All right, Brandon.
all right.
Give us
So last week we got catches. This week we're doing first basemen. So baseball is about rare feats. This happened twice at first base, and it's one of the rarest feats possibly. Do you guys know what it could be?
I'm going to say a triple play made by first baseman.
You are right there. An unassisted triple play.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, it's happened twice, both in it was 1923 and 1927, and actually one of them ended a game. So what happened was the first baseman caught a line drive, tagged the runner, and then jogged over to second and touched the bag or the runner on that end. And there's only been, I think, 15 unassisted triple plays turned. So that is my take this week.
All
2
right.
unassisted triple plays. Nice going.
I would go with a triple play route on that one. I don't know what else a first baseman can do.
Oh yeah, there was some studying. So
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Good job,
All right,
Brandon.
so good job. So on this next segment, we've been doing our Mount Rushmore. We've done our starting pitchers. We did the catchers. Now we're on the first baseman. So we're gonna have the Mount Rushmore for our first baseman. And Felix, you gotta take the first shot at your Mount Rushmore for first baseman.
First off, we talked about him earlier. You got to have Pujols on there, just because of everything he's done and gonna do. Now, I like history and all that, but I like talking about my generation. That's what I've seen with my own eyes. So I liked growing up. I liked Griff Dog. McGriff. I liked the Big Cat from the Braves. And I know this guy played not that much first base, but I'm still going to put him on there, even though because he's my favorite player. We're going to go with Dutch Dalton. He won a World Series with the Marlins, playing first base. Cecil Fielder, I believe he played first, correct?
Yes, Cecil Fielder played first.
Yeah. Him. And I got to go with the home guy. He made it happen. The big piece, Ryan Howard. Even though career didn't end like that, but hometown.
You even have a career?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No, there was a 5-year stretch where Ryan Howard was the best in the game.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
And it's a shame that his career ended early.
Yeah, so
Felix, did you ever see that episode of The Office that he was on?
No.
Yeah, he was on an episode of The Office. It's pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty
I'll
funny.
look that up.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty funny.
all right, so our fan over here, John Suggs, he came up with his own list with Carl. He went with this generation players: Carlos Santana, Freddie Freeman, Jose Abreu, and Joey Votto. One thing I like Jose Abreu is because of his number 79. I don't see anyone else wearing those odd numbers except for those pitchers.
Right.
What happened to Joey Votto?
He's still in Cincinnati.
I know it's a joke.
Yeah.
Number stuff.
You know what? I was actually thinking about it. What did happen to him?
All right, Brandon. I'm going to go with you. And I'm going to predict there's going to be a Twins on this one.
Yes. At number 7. So I'm with Felix. I like to talk about the guys that I've seen. I know there's guys that have better numbers that I haven't seen, like Killebrew, but I'm going to start off with Frank Thomas. That guy, just a monster at first, and even hitting wise, he killed the Twins so many times. I'm gonna go with, I think, one of the sweetest swings in baseball, Will Clark. I liked his swing from the days when he was with the Giants. I can't say anything bad about Will Clark. Now I got a toss up here between two. I'm gonna go with Mark Mcguire. I mean, the guy was powerhouse before the roids, after the roids. I mean, I don't know. I think he probably would have still been a Hall of Famer if he didn't take him, but for some reason he started to. But I liked him the old Bash Brothers days. I mean, as a kid, that's what we did when we hit home runs. We came around and did the old Bash Brother arm shake or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, going with the hometown boy. I'm going to go with St. Paul's native, Ken Herbeck. I grew up watching him. I played first myself, tried to model my game after Herbeck. So, honorable mention to myself if we could have had 5. So, but that's my top 4.
Cool.
All right. And you didn't say Kilbrew?
I did not catch Kilbrew, but no, I do respect and I do, he's up there, but I'm with Felix. I like to, talk about the guys I've seen play. So, I mean, I know I saw Kilbrew when I was a kid back in his later years, but,
All right, Yoel, what is your Mount Rushmore?
Okay, and I'm very torn on this because I'm all into baseball history. My dad and I talk about baseball history all the time, and we actually discuss this every week. We do the Mount Rushmore. I sit down, I talk with him about it. We go over stuff, For me, there are a couple guys that I loved watching play. Eddie Murray, growing up, I loved watching Eddie Murray. There was something about him being a switch hitter and him being so prolific from both sides of the plate. And he didn't get in until almost one of the last votes. I think it was the 13th or 14th year he didn't get in because he was very anti against the press. So the press, punished him for that. So I'm going to put Eddie Murray up there. Frank Thomas was a monster. Not only with the bat, Frank Thomas could definitely stick it at first. So, I'm going to go with Frank Thomas. I'm going to go with Harmon Killebrew because out of all the first basemen in the Hall of Fame, Harmon's got the best numbers. So we're definitely going to go with Harmon. And I have a tie for my 4th one, and it's between Keith Hernandez and Willie Stargell.
Oh,
okay.
And
the reason for that is I played first in Little League just like you, Brandon. And I used to model my batting stance and do the whole bat thing like Willie Stargell did. He would do the 3 times thing. And I remember the We Are Family days back in 1979.
okay.
So I loved watching Stargell hit. And Keith Hernandez, to me, was the guy at first, in the early 80s. And then he came over to the Mets. I mean, he was the guy. When I was playing really into Little League when I was, 12, 13, 14, Hernandez was a huge – I just love watching Keith Hernandez play. So, yeah, there are other guys like Tony Perez, it was great. Even Jeff Bagwell, was great. Jim Thome, was a great hitter, not a great fielder. But, to me, it's Killebrew, it's Eddie Murray, it's but Frank Thomas, and I have a tie for 4th between Hernandez and Willie Stargell, And I even forgot Willie McCovey, but don't know much about McCovey. I know he's got good numbers, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, those are my 4A, you could say.
Yep.
All righty. I went 3 that I actually saw. Then 1 is way back when. With my Mount Rushmore, I have to say the big hurt, Frank Thomas. I saw him in Minnesota actually when Kenny Lofton was with the White Sox. And he did a hurting on the Twins. And he was just a big guy. And even though I was way up in the stands, you could tell that was Frank Thomas right there.
Oh, yeah.
My other one was Jim Chomey. I mean, he's been the journeyman. I thought he was an awesome hitter, and I don't care what people say about him. I just enjoy watching him hit the ball and killing him pretty much. Then my other one that goes way back when is Lou Gehrig. What he has done for baseball, because he lived in the shadows of Bruce back in the day, and also, there's that Lou Gehrig disease that they found and named after him and so forth. So I have to pay homage to that one. But this guy's going to shock you. One of mine, He's like one of the very few first basemen that wear a helmet out on the field.
John Olerud.
John Olerud.
I love seeing that name, and I just love seeing that skinny guy with that helmet and his ears poking. I just love it. I just thought it was cool. But I also played first base in Little League also, and when I do play rec softball, that's where I go because my only mitt is a first baseman's mitt because I think it's the coolest mitt that's there. Probably one of the most expensive, but
yes, they are.
I don't care. I love my mitt.
Yeah.
It's actually my second mitt I had, so there's that. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for coming on. Next week we're gonna do our Mount Rushmore for second baseman, and also we're gonna do the AL East. Even though we went through the AL East on our very first show, we're gonna go back through it again, and we may be picking our teams who are going to go to the World Series because I saw the World Series logo and I thought it looks pretty cool. That's me. So I just want to say, John Suggs, thank you for commenting. Thank you for being interactive by doing that, being a viewer of the month. You can win a free t-shirt with ASAP. And if you guys don't feel like commenting, just find one of us and you could buy a ASAP t-shirt for $14.99 plus shipping and handling, and you'll get that ASAP. So with that being said, thank you for coming on to the Full Count, and check out the guys on Full Count on Thursday night as well. So catch you guys later. Have a good night.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.